Hey friends, welcome back to Better Days Start Today. I'm Adrienne. Today I decided to do something a little bit different for the episode. I actually recorded a walk that I took with my dog, and I was just kind of riffing on some stuff that has been on my mind. Normally I like to have what I'm talking about and the way that I'm talking about it in front of me and bullets kind of keep me on topic and really bring you a deliverable in the episode. Today, like I said, it's just a little bit different. I recorded myself just kind of riffing on some stuff that has been on my mind since the new year started. And it's a little all over the place. I mean, I talk about a book, I talk about a workshop that I did, how fragile our time on this earth is, and what might we do with it? Do we have a big thing on the calendar for the year? Are we doing something every day to bring some joy into our lives, even when things are difficult? I mean, we really go all over the map. I felt like this might be of service to you, might be something that you need to hear. If this is stuff that's kind of ping ponging around in my own brain, I feel like maybe I'm not the only one. I will say that this episode does not have the same recording quality that I usually have. I had headphones in, I was doing like a walk and talk, so I tried to balance it out as best I could, but I will just let you know up front, especially if this is a brand new episode for you. This is not normally what the episodes sound like. Just beware of that, and sorry if it is super annoying. But again, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you get something out of it. And without further ado, I will go ahead and play that walk and talk conversation. Hey there, and welcome to Better Days Start Today, the podcast where no matter what you've been through, every single day holds the power to change everything. I'm your host, Adrienne Crowley. I'm an author, coach, and your guide to creating a life you're genuinely excited to wake up to. Around here, we believe in taking intentional action, embracing the messy middle, and showing up for ourselves, starting right here, right now. So grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let's get started, because your better days, they start today. I'm doing something a little bit different today. I'm actually out walking my dog while I record this, so I may sound a little breathy at times. It's probably not going to be the same quality of recording that I usually do. I've just been very introspective today, and I think the new year, at least for me, really brings that out. I do a lot of journaling at this time of year. I sent my email list some questions to help them reflect and get some clarity going into the new year. And I myself worked through that workbook, and I've worked through so many other prompts. I've tried some different visioning exercises this year. I went about choosing a word of the year a bit differently than I usually do. And I've just been in this space of not rushing and taking my time, of really sinking into the feeling of being sure that something feels aligned. And I just want to point out that if something feels aligned right now, you can walk that path. You can try it on, see if it fits. In an episode of Ted Lasso, he talks about that with the play that Nate made. He's like, oh, we'll try it on, see if it fits. Maybe it'll be a nice silhouette. I think I mentioned that exact thing on this podcast before. But, anyways, all that to say that something can feel right in your body. It can feel like the thing that's meant for you, it can feel like the path that you want to go on. But then once you actually get on the path, your body may feel differently. You might realize that what you thought was in fact right for you, it was finally the thing. Turns out once you felt into it, it really wasn't the thing. For me, I tend to know that pretty quickly. I think a lot of us can be really afraid to try something without the guarantee that it's going to turn out the way that we think it will. It's kind of an area of mess and magic at the same time, because the only way we're going to figure out what we want or what's right for us is by trying it. You can think your way in and out of any situation. You can assume that you finally figured it all out, but until you're actually living that path, you don't really know how true that is. I started reading the book Blue Sisters, and it's been a popular book for all of 2024. And a bookstagrammer that I follow read it and loved it. It's also a Read with Jenna book. This book is really interesting because it's four sisters. One of them died. The three that are remaining are slowly reckoning with things about themselves, about their past, and they're coming back together. to deal with the house or the apartment that their sister Nikki died in of an overdose. She was taking pills. They knew she had chronic pain, but they didn't realize she had an addiction and that she was buying pills on the street, which resulted in a fentanyl overdose. Anyways, I'm only about halfway through the book, but it's just a really interesting character study in the fact of people evolving as humans. Who they were in one season of their life may not be who they are in the next one. Self awareness doesn't guarantee that we will choose something different, even if we know that the choice we keep making isn't serving us. It also really sheds a light on the fact that the people that we're closest to, we still only know of them what they're willing to show us.
There could be depths of their personality, of their behavior.
Of their existence that we don't fully know or understand. As another aside, I was reading, or rather, I was participating in Beth Kempton. She's an author and she has a very popular Substack dedicated to writing and community for writers. And I was participating in one of her workshops, and she was talking about writing from the lived experience and how that's really when you connect with people, is when you're able to get to the depths and the truth of your lived experience and you're vulnerable enough to share it because people can see their stories in you. While I'm on a tangent, I do feel like that the book The Blue Sisters, these four women and their experiences and their relationship with each other, it's so dynamic. And at least for me, having a lot of ups and downs in my life, having made a lot of really great choices and a lot of really not so great choices throughout the years, I see myself in a lot of each of the four sisters and the side of them that they choose to show and the side of them that they keep to themselves. So, all this to say, you don't have to be who you were yesterday. You can be somebody new today. Every day really is a new beginning if we choose for it to be that way. I know it probably sounds overly optimistic, but my grandmother used to say, oh, somebody might ask her, hey, how are you today? And she'd be like, I'm great. I woke up breathing. Every day is a good day when you wake up breathing. And I also remember it's probably in like seventh or eighth grade. We were still in the first apartment that I grew up in, and she lived with us. And I asked her, what's the hardest thing about getting old? And she said, watching all the people you love die before you. As somebody that has had multiple near death experiences, and I don't mean like, oh, this could have gone wrong. I mean, things that have gone to the brink where I nearly lost my life multiple times at different stages of my life. I am acutely aware of how each day is not guaranteed. How many days have you said, oh, I'll do that tomorrow? I'll take care of that later. I'll put that off till next week. But the thing is, if it's something that you care about, if it's something that truly means something to you, you have to prioritize it now because there is no guarantee that there'll be tomorrow or next week. And it's easy for us to get caught up in this idea of an unlimited amount of time. We're not running out of time. We're still young. 30 is young, 40 is young, 50 is young, 60 is young. People today can live to 100, over 100. Think about the medical advancements that will happen in the next decade. Who knows what's possible, right? But the thing is, you could do everything right health wise and still walk outside and get hit by a bus. So, by thinking that we have all this time to do whatever it is that we want to do, we're fooling ourselves. We're keeping ourselves safe in what we know, in the familiar, and we're avoiding the risk of the unknown. What if you fail? It's really not a failure until you decide that it's no longer for you and you stop trying. Every failure is just feedback. But what if you succeed? What if the thing that you're thinking about, that you want to do, that you want to accomplish, that you want to experience in your life ends up being so much better than you could have even imagined? Like the thought and the dream that you have right now is so tiny and minuscule in comparison to the magnificence that it turns out to be. And entrepreneurship group that I'm in, a woman talked about taking a step back from the group, and she's a caregiver for her parents, and she just hasn't had a lot of emotional space to focus on herself and dream about what's possible. As somebody that has been a caregiver, that can be extremely draining, yes, but it's also a privilege to walk alongside somebody in their most difficult, darkest end of days. But that aside, you will show up best for that person when you take care of yourself and when you allow yourself to dream of what's next. And not even just dream of it, but actually take some forward motion towards it, even if it's the tiniest step, because you're working towards something. I used to feel like I used achievement as a way to almost hustle for my worth. If I was accomplishing something, if I was achieving something, if I'm checking off the boxes, then I matter, or I'm earning love, or whatever it is. But I've come to realize that I've just been through a lot of really difficult things in my life, and having something to work towards gets me out of the dark malaise that we can fall into if we're not careful when things are challenging. Looking towards a brighter day, working towards something beyond the hard moment that you're in right now. That's not a bad thing. That doesn't mean you're bypassing anything. It is okay to hold the good and the hard at the same time.
It's okay to be going through something really difficult and still hold that flicker of hope.
At some point, you're going to be to the other side of it. I want you to ask yourself, if today were your very last day on this planet, would you be happy with how you spent it?
You might think to have like a really great last day, you have to be in some exotic place doing some wild thing.
But really, something I've come to learn over the years, while the pursuit of achievements, while the experience that is like different and exotic and just outside of your everyday are extremely fulfilling and help you grow as a person. Sometimes the things that we value most when we look back are the quiet moments, or the exciting moments with the people that we love, doing things that light us up, with people that we love. Are you doing at least one thing every day that lights you up, even if it's only for a few minutes? If you're not, I would encourage you to. I did an episode recently about a Misogi choosing one big life changing event for every year, then reverse engineering it and working towards it so it helps you become the person that's able to do that thing. And even if you don't accomplish whatever that goal is, there's still growth and transformation in the process of pursuing. If you have that and you're doing something every day that lights you up, how much better will your days be? I've gone a little all over the place in this conversation, as I tend to do, especially when I'm not looking at notes. But the crux of the matter is things aren't suddenly going to be great. You have to put yourself in situations where you can make them great. Things aren't going to suddenly be lighthearted and fun and carefree. You have to work to create those experiences and those feelings for yourself. It's easy for us to be excited about life when everything's perfect, when everything's going great. But life really is the ups and downs. So choosing to get something out of the heavy, hard times, reflecting on that will help you grow and evolve to become a better version of you on the other side of it. And all of that is a choosing. You can let things break you or you can let them transform you. But what are you doing today to create the feelings and create the life that you want to have? By the way, the road that I chose to walk on usually has like zero traffic. And because I actually pop some headphones in and I'm trying to record something, it is like a super highway out here. I'm sure you can probably hear it. But just consider that. Like, what are you doing today to create the life that you want to have? Are you doing anything? Or have you just resigned yourself to today's just going to be what today's going to be? Tomorrow will be better. But what if you don't wake up breathing tomorrow? And today's really all you have. What are you doing with it? Again, every day is not going to be a 10 out of 10. Everything isn't always going to go the way we want it to. But there can be moments of goodness inside of our most difficult days if we choose to create that. I truly believe that better days are coming. I don't ever think our best days are behind us. And I also believe that better days start today, meaning today is the day that we have to create something different, to become who we want to become, to experience everything that we want out of this life. We have today to do that. We have today to create that. What are you creating today? Okay, that's all I have for you today. I hope this is helpful. Be sure to like and follow the show, leave a review. It helps other people find the show. Please do that. And if you got something out of this, if it just got you thinking about something maybe in a little bit of a different way, share it with a friend that might need this reminder. And I hope that no matter what you're going through right now, no matter how challenging things might be, you take some time for yourself, you do something for yourself in service to yourself to make this day better. I will leave you with that.
Thanks so much for spending time with me on Better Days Start Today. If you loved this episode, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the podcast, and leave a review. It helps more people find this space and start creating their better days too. And hey, don't forget to sign up for my newsletter at adriancrowley.com. You'll get exclusive tips, tools, and access to complimentary events designed to support you every step of the way. Until next time, remember, your better days, they start today.